Welcome back to the 9th Gym program, and today we are talking about Crobat, continuing the Crown Tundra guide series. So this Pokemon actually has some pretty cool things that it can do. You know, it has Tailwind, it has Haze. It's a pretty solid supportive Pokemon that can do pretty good damage as well. It has pretty solid stats, it's very fast, good typing, and a good ability. So let's get into it. Poison, flying typing, giving you 1 immunity of ground is pretty good. 5 resistances and 4 weaknesses. Of course, most of the weaknesses are very prevalent typings, you know, electric, ice, psychic, and rock. But, you know, every Pokemon has weaknesses. It's Pokemon. But yeah, Crobat, you know, it's pretty frail. HP at 85, defense at 80, special defense at 80. Not like unbelievably frail, but it's pretty frail. Like, it doesn't want to take a lot of weakness, you know, weak attacks, or powerful, super effective attacks. So, you know, don't. But, you know, you can use things like Leftovers, Black Sludge, and Focus Sash or something like that to, like, you know, help it out and invest if you need to. But, yeah, we're using it as, like, a supportive Pokemon, Focus Sash, so it doesn't die immediately. And that's the name of the game with this guy. Inner Focus is a pretty good ability. It actually just got a really good buff. Before, it just helped you not get flinched, you know, and it doesn't prevent flinching from Focus Punch, whatever, who uses that move. Machamp enters the chat. Anyway, you know, you can't flinch, but you also are not intimidatable. Is that a word? You can't be intimidated, which is a huge thing in this meta because we have Lando and Incineroar everywhere, both top 10 Pokemon. It's a very good thing to have as an addition to this ability, so that is good. As far as these stats go, like I said, you know, fairly frail. Attack at 90 is not doing a lot of damage, but, you know, is pretty capable of, you know, 2 to 3 shotting, you know, super effective, with super effective attacks. Even things like Tapu Fini, you know, can get sliced up by 3 Cross Poisons, so that's pretty cool. Pretty good stuff. And then at speed, it's at 130, which is on the same speed tier as Tapu Koko, which is commonly a very, very fast Pokemon, you know, only being really naturally outsped by a couple of things like Pheromosa and Dragapult, but, you know, not too bad. Anyway, that is about it for the overview. Let's go ahead and get into it on the guide. So, Crobat, Focus Sash, Inner Focus. Inner Focus is the only one you're going to use. Focus Sash is very good for this Pokemon. Like I said, it's frail, so it's good to be able to set up Tailwind, guaranteed or almost guaranteed, or like Haze or anything like that. You could go with something like Mental Herb if you don't want to be taunted. You're probably not going to be taunted because this thing's incredibly fast, but there are Prankster Taunt Pokemon out there, and, you know, just faster Taunt Pokemon in general. You know, things like Scarfed or something, I don't know, or Tailwind. Tailwind's very prevalent. So yeah, it's pretty good stuff. I like Focus Sash, Inner Focus. As far as the moves go, I went with Cross Poison, Tailwind, Haze, Protect. It's a very customizable set. You don't have a lot of things to customize it with, but the options you do have are pretty good. You know, you could go Brave Bird or Dual Wing Beat if you want that flying typing over it, which I wouldn't blame you. I just went for not Brave Bird because it breaks your Sash, so that's the only reason on this specific build I went for that. But if you go for Mental Herb, definitely you can use Brave Bird if you need that coverage more than the Poison coverage, but Poison's pretty good, especially with the Tapus going around right now. It's a solid typing, and it's not bad to have on your team and on this Crobat in general. But one of those 2 moves I would definitely have something that is a Poison or Flying Stab move that's physical. So Cross Poison, Brave Bird, or Dual Wing Beat are really your options. You can go Dual Stab if you want, but I went for dual supportive moves, which was Tailwind and Haze. I just like both those moves really well. A lot this format. A lot of good Pokemon are doing, you know, max stuff that maximizes stats on both of your Pokemon, your opposing, both of your Pokemon. Oh my god, both of your opponent's Pokemon, which is very good to have. You know, you have Haze just breaking that down. It's also, there's a lot of good weakness policy Pokemon out right now. Things like Glastrier and Metagross are being, you know, very, very highly used. Both top 10 Pokemon, I believe, and both are weakness policy prevalently. Usually weakness policy. So it's good to have Haze. And then Tailwind's Tailwind. I mean, what do you want from me? 2 times speed for 4 turns is crazy. And then Protect is very solid as well. So it's a good set. There are other options, so like I said, the Brave Bird, Dual Wing Beat, you have U-Turn, you have Taunt, a couple of good moves there, probably a couple of things I missed, maybe just some coverage moves, but yeah, these are the most notable moves, so that's what I added there. As far as the spread goes, I just went for a very basic build here. You could go for bulky supportive Crobat if you wanted to, like maybe like Black Sludge or Leftovers, and then, you know, supportive moves. It has Roost, which is cool. You have a couple of options, but I just went for speed and attack just so I can do the most damage, since I went for Focus Sash. But if you want bulky, you know, maybe Mental Herb or the, you know, one of the Leftover Black Sludge is better. But, you know, for now, this build, I think Focus Sash and this exact spread just works really well. I just maximize its speed and HP. Wrong. I maximize its speed and attack, and then 4 into HP and Jolly Nature just to be as fast as possible, because I think that's its biggest thing going for it, is its speed with its, you know, supportive moves. So that's kind of what I leaned into. I like this Pokemon a lot. It works pretty well. Anyway, that's about it for this video. No, it's not. That's about it for this portion. My bad. And yeah, it's pretty good. So let's talk about these two synergetic Pokemon down here in the right corner, bottom right corner, before I move on to speed tiers. So first off is Metagross. Both these Pokemon are kind of the same actually for that. You know, you have a ground type weakness, which is good. Or, you know, they have a ground type weakness. Crobat has ground type immunity, meshes pretty well. Pretty good stuff. Now, you also have Pokemon like Tapu Fini, also that, you know, you can hit with Cross Poison, or you hit those kind of Pokemon that, like, deal damage on it, like Rillaboom or something, with Cross Poison or Brave Bird, so that's pretty good. I feel like I'm so scatterbrained this episode, I'm sorry. Metagross and Entei are both, you know, mid-speed Pokemon, so they get a lot of value off of Tailwind. You know, Entei is going to be using the Haze a little bit better because it won't be weakness policy, but if you go with, like, Life Orb Metagross, it could be good as well. Like, Haze and Tailwind are both just really good coverage for this. Also, you have Taunt, which is really good for, you know, keeping your opponent away from Trick Room, which these Pokemon like to be pretty fast usually, so keeping Trick Room out of your opponent's hands is a good thing to have as well. Anyway, that is about it for this section. Let's go ahead and move on to the speed tiers. So as far as speed tiers, like I said, 200 is what we land on, the same speed tier as Tapu Koko, which is a very, very competent speed tier, very fast, outspeeding a lot of really good, you know, Pokemon from 150 to 200 range. Things like that Cinderace, Thundurus, Kartana, Ninetales Alola, Nihilego, Lando T, Excadrill, you got Garchomp, you got a whole lot of Pokemon, a bunch of these really fast, good, you know, Ultra Beasts, as well as just good Pokemon that were added into the game with Crown Tundra. You have new things like the birds, you know, who outspeed all those. So 200 is a very solid speed tier to be at. You are still getting outspeed by a few things, like 208 with Dracovish at Scarf. You have Dragapult, you have Pheromosa, Lando T at Scarf, a bunch of Scarf Pokemon, and a lot of things under Tailwind, but luckily for us, Crobat can set Tailwind, so, you know, you can kind of counter that pretty well as well. Anyway, that is about it for speed tiers. Let's talk about some damage calcs. So, like I said, you know, this is gonna, you're not like super, super bulky, and with Focus Sash, you're gonna be most likely getting two-shotted from everything. So I only went with, you know, damaging, like offensive damage calcs here, but yeah, nothing like too insane. Most of them are kind of just boasting like a potential 2-hit KO, a guaranteed 2-hit KO, maybe a 3-hit KO. A good, like, it's just good. Since the Pokemon isn't like a damage-doing Pokemon, its damage is not bad, which is good. So we have 252 attack Brave Bird into Rillaboom with 252 HP and 4 defense investment, hitting 84 to 99.5. What a sad calc. Like, what an almost amazing calc, but it is what it is. It's good for Rillaboom, you know what I mean? Guaranteed 2-hit KO after grassy terrain recovery. Pretty good stuff. You still hit a 2-hit KO when that Pokemon's not doing a lot to you anyway, so it's good stuff. Next, you have Crobat, Cross Poison into Tapu Fini. This is just the most used spread right now on Pikalytics, 252 HP and 60 defense, I think. Maybe it was default. One of the two. But, you know, it leaves some room. We have a pretty solid chance of 2-hit KOing with at 45 to 54, a 30% chance to 2-hit KO, which is a pretty high chance, but that thing can Dynamax too, but you know, it's good damage, though. Next, we have Crobat Brave Bird into a very, very bulky Amoonguss, 252 HP and 152 plus defense, hitting 74 to 87, which is a pretty high amount of damage and a guaranteed 2-hit KO even after a Pinch Berry recovery, which is very good stuff. Next, we have Crobat Cross Poison into a 4 HP Tapu Koko, not doing enough damage, but still a lot of damage at 73 to 87, which is a guaranteed 2-hit KO. Next, we have 252 attack Cross Poison from our Crobat into a very, very, actually as bulky as it can be, 252 HP, 252 plus defense Eviolite Clefairy, hitting 38 to 47, which is guaranteed 3-hit KO. Not the best, but it's still good damage. Next, we have the same amount of damage, like roughly, actually almost unbelievably close, into the most used currently most used spread on Pikalytics Defense Togekiss, 252 HP, 204 plus Defense Togekiss, hitting 38.5 to 46.8. So close to that same Clefairy, but still guaranteed 3-hit KO. Pretty good stuff, not bad at all. Anyway, that is about it for the damage calcs. Let's go ahead and talk about single spotlight real quick before I end the video. So Crobat, you know, it lost some tools, but we still have some cool stuff for it. I gave it Sharp Beak and Inner Focus just to do the most amount of damage. You can go like Expert Belt or Life Orb potentially as well, but since, you know, it is a not unbelievably frail Pokemon, I just wanted Sharp Beak so you don't take them, you know, damage from Life Orb, but you could go Life Orb if you want. Anything that really buffs damage is what I'm saying. But yeah, that's what we went with. Dual Stab, Taunt, Roost. Taunt's good for, you know, stopping walls. Roost is good on those turns where your opponent's gonna switch out and like you're not gonna do much damage anyway. You might as well Roost. It's good stuff. I went for a 252 attack and speed, and then the 4 in defense because you're never gonna be Dynamax in this Pokemon. And yeah, it's pretty good. I think it's a solid build. Anyway, that is about it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Makes a huge difference. You don't know. Actually, you probably do know, so you should just hit the subscribe button. Yeah, only like 40% of the people that watch my videos are subscribed, so you should subscribe. You know, it's free, and it makes a big difference. Anyway, Crobat is pretty cool in sum up. I like it a lot in VGC. I actually made a team recently using it. It was pretty cool. I'll put a little card up there at the top. But that is going to be it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend or week. Actually, have a great weekend. Have a great week and weekend. Goodbye.